Did you know that we have channel memberships now? If you'd like to help support this channel, get some exclusive Kawabana emotes to use in the comments, as well as an exclusive badge by your name, click that join button now to find out more. Every bit of support really helps. Thanks guys. On March 25th, 1922, several police officers went down to Matogahama in Beppu City, Oita Prefecture, and lit several dozen houses on fire. They claimed that the residents actually burnt their own houses willingly, but it wasn't long until the truth came out. What really happened that day, and why? First, a little background. The area of Matogahama was considered at the time to be what we might call a slum today. It has been recorded that 4 lepers lived in the area at the time of the burning, as well as numerous mountain nomads. It wasn't technically a burakumin area, but it was still full of undesirables, either way. Officers claimed that they had been tipped off by the Special Higher Police that the area was involved in accumulating arms and various conspiracies against the Empire, and so the decision was made to clean the area up, in the interest of public morals and security. The Special Higher Police were an organisation that existed from 1911 to 1945. Their goal was to police ideologies and political groups that might threaten public order in the Empire of Japan. They were also commonly known as the Thought Police. And so, working on a tip-off from this organisation, or so they claimed, local police went down to Matogahama, an area of ill repute, and convinced the people living there to burn their own houses down. This, according to them, was done to keep public order and prevent crime. Now, if you find that story a bit hard to swallow, you're not alone, and few people believed it at the time either. In all, 16 houses were burnt down, displacing 80 residents. Amongst these were 5 Japanese soldiers, some of whom had received medals for their service. The police had also claimed that the people living in Matogahama were lowlives who didn't even pay taxes, but this was quickly proven to be untrue. Matters got worse when various Buddhist organisations stepped in to help the village, and the police called their efforts a useless intervention. It should be noted that the Burakumin Rights Organisation had only just been formed shortly before this incident took place. Discrimination was still prolific throughout the country against all those considered undesirable. But this attack was so brazen and so open and clearly contradicted the facts that even the general public were astounded. Buddhist monk Shinozaki Renjo spent the next few weeks travelling to various locations around the country to talk about what really happened that fateful day. It's believed he initially thought Matogahama was a Burakumin area, which it wasn't, and so it was he who got the Burakumin Rights Organisation on board to look into the incident as well. He interviewed villagers and spoke their truths at various protests and meetings around the country, while also organising support for those affected by the burnings. On May 23rd, 2 months after the incident, the Ministry of Home Affairs issued an official statement on the matter. They stated that Matogahama was not a Burakumin area, but rather a village of nomad beggars, and the police had politely asked the villagers to leave in order to uphold public morals, safety and hygiene standards. The villagers had agreed to this and willingly burnt their houses down. Once this statement was issued, the Burakumin Rights Organisation ceased their public denouncements. It's been theorised they did so because they discovered that the villagers were in fact not Burakumin, but rather mountain nomads, and they didn't want to help them as, ironically for a group about stopping discrimination, they didn't like the nomad groups. The villagers of Matogahama, it seemed, were thus abandoned by all sides. Yet the incident caused such a fuss in the newspapers and amongst the general public that the Imperial Diet at the time organised an investigation into the case. Again, it was determined that the villagers were persuaded by the police and destroyed their own houses themselves. Officially, the case was closed, even though few believed that to be the actual truth. But in the end, why did the police burn their houses down either way? Was it really to uphold public morals and safety? Well, kind of, but not really. It turned out that the imperial family would soon be travelling through the area in order to attend the Oita Red Cross Society branch general meeting. They would be able to see the famous Yumikake no Matsu from the train, a famous tree where it was said Minamoto no Tametomo hung his bow, and they felt it disrespectful to have a poor village living nearby. Such sights were not for the imperial family's eyes. It disrespected them. In the end, 80 people were forced out of their homes, everything burnt, because the imperial family were travelling nearby and the local police didn't want them to see such poor people living near a famous landmark. Nobody ever paid for the terrible crime because, officially, there was no crime. Police stood by their statement that the villagers willingly burnt down their own houses until the very end. All because the imperial family would be travelling through the area a few days later. But what do you guys think about this one? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.